Hi, my name is George from NBI Hockey,
And I'm Brody from BroalieTalksHockey.
and welcome back to Odd Man Rush playoff preview edition. We kind of went over a bit of our early predictions last episode, but now we have the official bracket. Playoffs start on Monday, so why not? Let's dive into it. And I think we can both agree this is going to be kind of a crazy uh, playoffs.
Yeah, I
So
agree for sure. It can go any way, actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
like before this, we were like on the NHL.com thing. They have like an option where you can like make like a random bracket, and like I spent like 6 times, and outside of Florida winning the cup one time, I could pretty well justify every pick they made. So, uh, but hey, maybe Sergei Bobrovsky goes on a run. So who
yeah.
knows?
You never know.
Uh,
Alex Lyon
yeah,
and Andrew Hammond 2.0.
yeah, that's right. But no, so it's definitely a wide open field. So we're gonna go through our picks for round one, and then kind of go from there. We'll probably just go through our whole brackets, and then at the end we're gonna
Yeah,
do a little fantasy playoff hockey thing between the two of us,
yeah.
where we pick a team, and then for the playoffs. Yeah, I don't
hmm
know if that made sense, but
It made sense. You got it.
okay, good, cool. Uh, I'm also gonna probably need you to write those down because I'm not prepared for that at all.
I will. I'll write them down. Don't you worry. I got it.
Okay. So we start with the East or the West? What
Let's
are you
start in
feeling?
the West. Let's start in the West.
All right, let's start with the crazy West. So we'll start with the first matchup as they are reading on NHL.com, which is Colorado versus Seattle. The Colorado Avalanche win the Central Division again, which was I was 1 point away from being right about where they finished in the Central this year, and they had to
Oh
win against
wow.
Nashville and ruin that. So that's unfortunate. Also, really ironic that they beat the team I had in first in the Central, but we don't need to talk about that. I want to talk about the Predators. Uh, but yeah, so the Colorado Avalanche won the uh, prize of playing the Seattle Kraken in round one, who finally make the playoffs in their second season in the NHL. So take that, everybody who said that the expansion draft was easier this time around for the other 30 teams in the NHL,
yeah,
because Seattle's back in the playoffs. Shut up.
yeah.
So what are your thoughts going into this round one matchup?
I like it actually could go any way. Like people can make justification for both, and some people will think it's crazy to have Seattle winning. But like if you look at it, like their underlying numbers have been pretty good this year. I mean, they're scoring at a pretty good clip above their expected goals, so that's a little concerning, but they
A lot
just
of
have
teams do
guys who
though.
can score. And like
Yeah,
Daniel Sprong, they got Daniel Sprong.
Daniel Sprong's
That's
been
that's
awesome.
that's all you need.
Yeah. No, honestly, I mean, like one of the things like looking into both these teams, like that concerned me was how concerning the Avalanche bottom six is. As well as JT Compher being their second line center. He's been fine, but going to the playoffs, I don't think that's ideal. Um, and yeah, I mean, Seattle's got depth. Like they may not have that true top guy, although Jared McCann's been really good this season, but like they don't have like a Nathan McKinnon or a Mikko Rantanen or a Kale McCarr, but they have a lot of depth. I think they have more depth than the Avalanche do by a fairly significant margin.
hmm
And especially if this series ends up going long, like the Avalanche don't really have the goaltending again. We obviously that didn't bother them last year, but even with Kemper having a bad first couple rounds of the playoffs, he was still
Right.
probably better than what they're running into this season. So plus, I mean,
Right.
Philip Grubauer is on the other side. He's going to want some kind of revenge. Like he's going to be fired up for the series. So,
Yeah, he is for sure.
uh,
Like
so yeah.
and
So
like Georgiev's been a little concerning the last month of the season. Like he's only at one goal save above expected right now.
yeah,
I mean,
he's kind of been
Grubauer's
hovering
not.
around that like
Yeah,
most of the season, but yeah,
Grubauer's
Grubauer's been
just below
pretty
him,
good.
but still,
Yeah,
it's not a. It's enough to almost call it a wash in theory.
yeah. Obviously Manson and Makar are out for now. I'm assuming one of them will play, if not both, will play game one. Uh, they both seem to be like coming back fairly soon.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a concern. I mean, Jack Johnson and Curtis McDermott are both in the lineup for Colorado right now, which makes their blue line significantly worse than what it should be.
Significantly less mobile. That's the
Yeah,
way to put it.
and they're literally an injury away from having to play Jack Johnson in the playoffs. So
In the top four.
that's yeah, that's not good.
No, you don't want
Um,
that.
so I think we're kind of both ending up here at the same decision.
Yeah, I think
Kind
we
of
did.
talking ourselves into it. But
Okay.
who do you officially winning round one?
I have Seattle winning in 7 games, specifically because I don't think Makar will be 100% all season, all series, I mean.
Hmm.
And that means you're going to have to play Curtis McDermott more than 10 minutes a night
Yeah,
and
or
Jack
Jack
Johnson.
Johnson. Yeah,
And
one
those
of the
guys
two.
are going to get worn out by Seattle because they forecheck pretty good. If like I
Yeah,
haven't checked their forechecking numbers and like
they're
their
pretty
all
good.
three
Yeah, they're
zones
good.
stuff, but I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Seattle can just attack you in waves. I mean, like Gord is really good at that. Uh, Obviously McCann's really good at that. Bjorkstrand's really good at that. Like Sprong's been fantastic.
Right.
Like they really have four lines that can do that. I mean, Jordan Eberle's having a really nice season as well.
Hmm.
It, they just kind of like they're almost built kind of what like a less talented version of what the Avalanche were last year.
Right.
Um, and obviously that worked. So yeah, I also have Seattle winning. I didn't pick games, but I mean, let's go 7-2. Why not?
Why not? Exactly.
Yeah. So there we go. There's our first upset of the of the day.
We're already
Um,
one pick in and we already have an upset.
yeah, look at that. All right, let's move on to the other matchup in the Central. Dallas versus Minnesota. This is one that I think is really interesting. I think both
Hmm.
teams are kind of like even. Obviously, Dallas started off really hot. Kind of cooled down a little bit. Kind of picked it up again late on. Like everybody kind of caught up to them and them in Winnipeg. Uh, this one can go either way for me. I think obviously Philip Gustafson's been really good all season. He's kind of cooled down over the last month and a half. Uh, Jake Ottinger's had kind of the same boat. So yeah, again, just a weird matchup
It
that
is
could go
weird.
either way.
Yeah. The one thing that I think might hurt Minnesota a little bit is Erickson out. Eck is out right now.
Yeah,
I mean, Gaudreau's not. He's not bad. Like he's not who you want as your second line center. But I think Minnesota pushed the St. Louis team to 7 last year, and I think last year's St. Louis team was a little better than this year's Dallas team.
sure. Yeah,
Like in a
outside of
vacuum,
goaltending, yeah, yeah,
outside of goaltending, yeah. But Bennington has been about as good as Ottinger in the last month.
sure.
Like in
Yeah,
in in like like yeah, just in theory here. Like that's why I think Minnesota has a little bit of an edge is you just don't really know what you're going to get from Minnesota. Like they'll always keep you to the outside. Like their defense is very good. Like they have
hmm
two outstanding shutdown defensemen, two goalies who could win you a series. I mean, I don't know what Fleury's going to do really, but
yeah. I mean, Gustafson's going to be their guy
I,
at
I
least to
hope
start.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, playoff flurries had
He's a
moments.
thing.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, outside of last year, but
Right. Last year was pretty bad.
yeah, he was also kind of like in a like I understand like the mental situation he was in with all the Vegas stuff and then playing on a terrible Blackhawks team. So like I can kind of like get it. He hasn't been very good this year though. But again, like this could be his last run at a cup. So
Right.
who knows if he has to play at all.
Right. And if you look at Dallas, like their top line is insanely good.
Hmm.
And their second line's been pretty good, but I don't know how much I trust their depth compared to.
Yeah. It's almost similar to the Avalanche Seattle series, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh where you kind of have outside of like Kaprizov being like a legitimate superstar in Minnesota and
Right.
Seattle not really having that. But
Well, and Boldy's been pretty good lately.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think if there's going to be a team that can shut down Dallas's top line, it's going to be the Wild. They've
Hmm.
consistently been like one of the best defensive teams in the league. Um, and they have a pretty good goaltender, especially for this season.
Right.
I think this is going to be another 7 game series though.
I agree. Who do you have
But
winning in 7?
I have the Wild
I
in
have the
7.
Wild as well.
Oh, look at that! It's almost like you copied my bracket.
Whoa, don't even.
All right. So the Central is pretty easy.
Yeah,
Let's move on to the Pacific. Vegas versus Winnipeg, and again, a series that is really interesting because, like, as of the beginning of January, the Winnipeg Jets were the best team in the NHL, battling with Vegas for that top spot.
right.
Obviously, the epic collapse that they went on almost had them missing the playoffs,
Hmm.
but they get in as the 8th seed and have been playing somewhat better over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, they've been
What are you? How are you going into this series feeling?
like I've been watching a lot of Vegas and Winnipeg lately, just kind of trying to see how this series goes specifically because I don't know, it's both been interesting because both teams have battled with injuries. Like I know Winnipeg hasn't battled as much lately, but
Yeah,
at the start of the
Vegas
year,
is just yeah.
Winnipeg couldn't stay healthy. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy. And
Which
Vegas is
ironically, like when they were at their best.
yeah,
Funnily enough, but
maybe when you keep yeah,
yeah,
when you play Ehlers more, you seem to win. It's kind of the
that's weird.
correlation that's there.
It's really weird
Weird.
that that's a thing.
It's
Yeah,
almost as if one is causing the other.
yeah.
No,
Probably,
couldn't be.
probably not. Yeah,
But yeah, I think Winnipeg will go as far as Hellebuck takes them.
yeah, absolutely,
Like
hundred
Winnipeg
percent.
can score on occasion. Their expected goals numbers are generally awful.
Yeah,
Generally,
mhm.
they've been good lately, but like they always outscore their expected goals. Like that's how Winnipeg's been since they've moved
Yeah,
back.
yeah. It's basically like what the Capitals have been like since like 2007. It's the
Right,
same thing.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, this series is super interesting to me because obviously Mark Stone's gonna be coming back. Um, he'll be back for game one. He's skating. He's been in practice.
right.
Um, I'm assuming that he's been good to go for like a week and a half. But shout out to Nikita Kucherov. Um, but uh, this series is really interesting to me because again, like you have another, it's another series where you have a former goalie playing his old team,
Yeah.
in Laurent Brossoit, who's been really good over the last little bit, but Vegas has run through so many goalies this season. Obviously Quick's there too, and he does like although he's been bad over the last little bit, he does have that experience of winning those two cups, which matters at least from a psychological perspective.
Yeah.
Uh,
The mental game for sure.
yeah, that definitely makes a difference. Um, I don't. Again, this is another series I see going 7 games.
Yeah.
I think Winnipeg's offense is going to be really good, and they're going to be able to take advantage of a goalie who's not one of the best in the league, despite how regardless of how Brossoit's played over the last month.
Right.
Uh,
If Vegas played it tactically, they'd play Aiden Hill for the whole series because the Jets have
yeah,
played against
if he's
Aiden
back,
Hill.
but yeah,
Yeah, the Jets have played against Aiden Hill every time this year, and they haven't beaten Vegas. And like Aiden Hill's
yeah,
played some outstanding hockey against the Jets.
yeah, and he's been good. Like he should be their starter regardless. I think he's been their best goalie this season.
I think he's been their best goalie this season for sure.
Yeah. Uh,
But I've heard a lot of like Vegas media and fans get mad that he turns the puck over a lot because he likes to play the puck a lot. So that sounds like I wouldn't be surprised if Bruce Cassidy sits him for something like that. Come playoff time, we can't have you turning the puck over. Theory like
yeah.
that.
I I think the biggest thing for me in this series, the biggest X factor, is if Rick Bonus is going to like outcoach himself.
Yeah.
Um, eh, it's like Winnipeg has a team that matches up pretty well, especially
Hmm.
offensively.
Hmm.
And they have the goalie to kind of make up for the defensive lapses, who's
Right.
been pretty good over the last little bit.
Yeah.
Hellebuck had a stretch in like the middle of the season where he wasn't very good, but like he's bounced
No,
back to what
he's
he was at
bounced
the beginning
back.
of the season.
Yeah.
Um, that's the biggest thing. Like you said, Hellebuck's gonna take this team as far as he can go. But like if the Jets are dressing Logan Stanley in the lineup and playing Ehlers on the third line, I don't see how they can win this series.
But here's
I
the
think they're
thing.
gonna
Bonus
go
is
ahead.
going to come into this thinking. Remember that one playoff series where Logan Stanley scored 2 goals to take it to overtime? And he's going to put Logan Stanley out there.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
ended
for
up
sure.
losing the game, but
Yeah.
like Rick Bonus has had some of the most questionable lineup decisions.
Yeah.
Like I
And
don't
that's my
understand
problem.
it.
It's just like Vegas is gonna come at you in waves. Like Vegas has good depth. They have really good
Yeah,
blue line. Goaltending obviously goes to the Jets,
it
but
does for
everything else
sure.
here is pretty equal, I think.
I would say. Like the
I trust Cassidy a lot more than I trust Bonus to make
right.
intelligent
And
decisions with this
another
lineup.
key is, will the Jets power play be able to function properly? Because if Jets can have a 25% power play instead of 15 like it's been lately, like that's
Mhm.
something that can push you over a little bit.
For sure. I think Eichel's going to be kind of an X factor here too.
Right.
It's his first playoff run.
Hmm.
Especially just watching Buffalo like almost get in, should give him a little bit of extra added motivation. But it's his first playoff run. I'm excited to see what he is. He's healthy.
Hmm.
I think Eichel rocks. So
He looks good out there. Like
yeah,
when you watch him play.
he's Eichel's so much fun. He's so underrated. Like people don't talk about him as being like in that top 10 center conversation, and he should be because he rocks.
Right.
I
I think his
I'm really interested
200
to see
foot
how he
game's
looks.
been so good this year too. Like I think
It
he's
has.
tightened that up a lot.
He was good as last year in Buffalo too. Like that, like
Oh
where
really?
he got hurt at the end there. Like he was pretty sure if I'm remembering that was a couple years ago, but I'm pretty sure he was like a pretty solid, like not like great, but like I'm pretty sure he was like a solid two-way player
Right.
at that point too.
Yeah, he's
Um,
been pretty okay defensively this year, but his
yeah.
offense is where
So,
he thrives though. So,
oh, of course, yeah. And that's kind of like Mark Stone's a huge question mark if he can come back and be effective. Uh, I have Vegas in 7.
right.
I just think tactically, I don't trust, especially if it does go deep. I don't trust Rick Bonus to make smart decisions at this point, especially with what we've seen when the Jets have had adversity over the last like month. It just hasn't
Right.
been great.
Yeah. I have Winnipeg in 7, but I'm gonna justify it like this for people who might not agree, or like I think no matter what, it'll be a close series. But as long as Bonus does not touch the lines right now, I think they're fine. Like Connor Dubois, Shifley, like they haven't been great defensively, but they've scored a lot offensively, and they've like looked good together.
Yeah,
Like because
that's true.
Shifley doesn't have to play that down low in the corners. He can play on the wing. Like he looks so much better as a winger than a center.
Mhm.
And Ehlers has been carrying. He plays so well with Nemesnikov. Their third line has been insanely good lately. I don't know. As long as Hellebuck plays good, I see no reason why Winnipeg can't win in 7. That's why I have Winnipeg in 7. But I think it'll be
That's
close.
fair.
Like I think it could be a game
Yeah,
7 OT type deal.
yeah. I think this like I mean all these series I think are going to be really close. We have 3 game 7 so far, so uh,
Yeah.
watch them all be 4-0 blowouts by the team we didn't pick.
Yeah, exactly.
And the final series in the West is Edmonton LA. Uh, Obviously, it's a rematch from last year where the Kings took the Oilers to 7, but Connor McDavid scoring 2.5 points a game was able to take them over. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, I should add, because he had a phenomenal playoffs as well last season. Um, this one's gonna be fun too. Both teams are better than they were last season, and I think again they match up really well. I thought they matched up really well against each other last season too, and this is probably my favorite matchup in the West
Yeah.
out of the 4. I think it's
I
gonna be
think
just really
yeah.
fun.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. And like the thing with LA is like both teams, their biggest question marks is goaltending, and they match up
Mm-hmm.
like so well together.
Yep.
And I've actually changed my prediction since what I had before we started recording.
All right.
I think here's the thing. LA, their biggest strength, they have two centers who are insanely good at shutting down
Yeah.
opponents. And I think if you get Dano matched up against that McDavid line,
Yeah.
like
Which is
you
probably I think
can't
what is what they'll do
right, you
by the end
can't
of the
shut
series. At
down
least.
McDavid, but you can limit him for sure.
Yeah.
Like and the Kopitar, I think it's Kopitar, Byfield, Kempe. I
Sounds
think it's
right.
something like that. That
Keep going.
line will be hounding Draisaitl, and I trust LA's bottom 6 more than I trust um Edmonton's because they've got
Yeah.
Velarde on the bottom 6. Fiala's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Byfield, Kopitar, Kempe,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then
Like
Moore,
that's
Dano, and Arvidsson for now. But I think Fiala probably
who was
goes
on the
somewhere in the
left
top
wing
6.
there? You said.
Trevor Moore.
Oh, okay. I love
So I
Trevor
expect
Moore.
Fiala probably to take that spot, and then Moore
He will.
gets bumped down.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. Philip Deneau gets to play with 2 scores. That's awesome. Finally.
Yeah.
Finally. I was huge. This is just a total sidebar, but I was very much in the Montreal should trade for Patrick Laine conversation when the Jets were gonna ship him out, because I thought that combination of Deneau and Laine would be phenomenal, and it never
Oh,
happened. I'm very sad, but
imagine.
I really wanted that to happen because Philip Deneau is such an underrated playmaker, and
Yeah.
that would have been so much. It's just it never, whatever. It didn't have. I was upset, but
Like imagine
I'm just
Tatar,
happy that.
Deneau, and Line.
Ugh, yeah,
The
that
Corsi,
would have
the
been fun.
Corsi would be unreal.
That would have been so much fun. It would have just made up for Line not being able to play defense. Like, it would have been perfect. It was just
Yeah.
so. I'm just glad that they got Fiala and Arvidsson, and he's playing with like guys who can finish now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's yeah. I'm just happy for him. Yeah, no, I think the series is gonna be fun. I have it going 6, just because I can't pick every series to be 7 games. But so I'm assuming you have LA, right?
I have LA in 7.
Okay. Um, I have Edmonton in 6. I just think, like, despite everything about about LA being able to shut guys down, it's just, you're going to, even if the Kings find a way to shut down McDavid and Draisaitl, you're still going into every game down at least a goal, like, just automatically.
Right.
I don't know if the Kings have enough offense to be able to fight back from that. I don't know if they can make up a goal a game with that lineup, and that concerns me long term, especially if the series does end up going long, because like
It
Skinner
will
is
for
going to be
sure.
their starter, and I think getting somebody like Ekholm too helps them defensively.
Hmm.
Um, and that's going to be such a underrated ad as this playoffs go on. Gavrikov's been pretty good since the Kings traded for him too, but I don't like the Kings blue line doesn't match up well at all with the Oilers offense, and I think the Oilers just have too much offensive firepower in their lineup, because I mean guys like Evander Kane are still there, which we haven't talked about at all. I mean Zach Hyman's having a crazy good season. Like they have so much offense, and even if you do end up shutting down McDavid and Draisaitl, like Evander Kane's gonna have a heck of a series if he's on his own like kind of line. If they end up like splitting that up,
Right.
because they could like they could do like a Phil Kessel with him and just throw him on a third line and just let him play against like whoever LA wants to put out against the Oilers third line. Uh,
Right.
it's just like they're kind of a matchup nightmare, and that I don't think goaltending is going to be like a huge factor in the series for either team, because they're both kind of like even.
Right.
I, Even if like, you find a way to shut down McDavid, he's still going to have 6 or 7 points in the series.
Yeah. No question.
I don't think LA has the offense to keep up with that yet, which is unfortunate because I really like this Kings team. But
That's the thing too. Part of my decision it goes into I picked LA last year to beat Edmonton, and they took them so close. And I just think
I had
this is
LA too last
like I think
season.
this is the perfect like arc for them.
That's fair. It's like
Like
WWE, baby. It's Vince
like they
McMahon
feel like
standing
they
back there.
feel like the
Just
villains right now, the Kings. Like to me,
yeah, well, because everybody
I
wants
don't
to see
know.
McDavid go on a run. Like I feel like everybody's rooting for McDavid, right? Like if you don't have a vested interest in this and you're not like a Flames fan, I feel like you're cheering for the Oilers somewhat, at least.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like there's part of you that wants to watch them win, and like I'm in that boat for sure. I'd love to see McDavid win a Stanley Cup. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, this series is gonna be fun. Like I said, I've LA or Edmonton in 6, but again, like I could talk myself, especially in the West, I could talk myself into any of these teams like getting to the
Right.
finals. Never
And
mind,
that's my caveat with
like
this. Like
yeah,
I think Edmonton could win in 7 easily, but I just
yeah,
think LA will do it. I
yeah.
think this is the time they do it.
That's fair. That'd be fine. And again, then I get my Vegas LA Jonathan Quick revenge arc in the second
Yeah,
round.
that would be a
So,
6 series too.
so I mean, hey, like I'll take like if the Oilers end up not winning in round 1, I really hope Vegas wins, because I need Quick versus LA. Like
Yeah.
that just has to happen. I don't care who the starter was in round 1 for Vegas. I don't care if he was unreal. Like Jonathan Quick has to play that whole series.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, so that is the Western Conference. Um, we'll go through the East, and then we'll kind of circle back and quickly go over like our finals picks and stuff. And
Okay.
kind of go through the second round and stuff really quickly. But let's begin with Boston, Florida. I think this one's gonna be a pretty easy discussion.
Right.
I have Boston in 5 for all the reasons that everybody's talked about.
Yeah.
I'll give
It's a
Florida a
broken
game.
record at this point.
Yeah. I'll give Florida 1, just out of courtesy to Matthew Tkachuk and his MVP case. But Boston's just too good to not win this series in round 1.
Right. Yeah. I think Florida's going to lose in 5. They're going to win game 3 at home. That's what I'm calling it right now.
Sure. Let's go with that. Or game 4, whatever. They'll win one of the two at home.
Yep.
And then, okay. Tampa Bay, Toronto. Again, we knew this was going to be the matchup forever. I think we kind of talked about it last podcast.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah. Ryan O'Reilly's back. I don't think he was back last time we recorded. That's kind of a big deal. Tampa Bay's looked awful over the last, since January. So
yeah, they've been horrible.
Yeah, this, as much as and this is gonna sound crazy because over the last couple of years, Toronto's played Columbus and Montreal in the playoffs.
Right.
I think this is their best. This is the best matchup for them in round 1 with this core.
I agree.
Because the Columbus thing was weird. It was a 5-game series. It was just they didn't play for months. It was just strange. And Montreal just Carey Price was playing unreal. Once they lost the game 5, you could kind of feel things start to change. It just I never felt confident that Toronto was going to fully win that series. I really think the Leafs win this series. I fully believe the Leafs win this series.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is Andrei Vasilevsky stealing this, which we've seen him do a bunch of times in the playoffs. But even last year, the Leafs were one of the only 2 teams since this run that Tampa Bay's went on, they're one of only 2 teams to outscore them in the series, and the other was Colorado.
Yeah.
And this Leafs team's better, and the Lightning are worse.
Mm-hmm. And it went to 7 last year too.
Yeah, and Toronto was the better team that series. Even regardless of the goals for, they were the better team analytically that whole series. They just got out goalied, which could happen again. But I just, this is the year the Leafs do it. It has to, it has to be. Or else Kyle Dubas is going to go run hockey ops in Pittsburgh. So hey, shut up. Which why not? But no, this has to be the year, right? It's just
it is.
It's got to be the year, man. Leafs in 7. Why not?
Yeah, I've got Leafs in 6, and I think this Tampa team has not been playing good. They lost,
except for Braden Point, 50 goals. Shout out.
Quietest 50 goal season in NHL history.
Top 10 center in the NHL, Braden Point.
Yeah.
90 some points, 50 goals.
That's
Nobody's
crazy.
talking about him because 7 guys have 60. So who cares?
Yeah. Everybody.
Remember when Jamie Benn won the
goals?
Yeah. Do you remember when Jamie Benn won the Hart Trophy when he got 87 points this
goodness,
season?
That's crazy.
I think he'd be 22nd in points this season or something like that. I saw that. It's what the hell?
That's ridiculous. I saw a stat. Save percentage is way down, but goal save above expected is up.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
weird.
It makes you think the real the cause of that is people are just taking smarter shots these days.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
tactics 100%. Have gotten so much bigger in hockey than they used to be. It used to be dump and chase, get pucks from anywhere, but now it's slow the game down, get a nice chance.
Unless you're Carolina.
Then you just throw it from everywhere.
Yeah. And don't score.
One comment about Tampa. It seems like trading a whole
that's gonna be such a good segue into the Hurricane series. Oh,
it will be. Should we just go to that one next?
No, it's fine. Go on. It's okay. I don't know.
It's almost like trading a whole draft class for a below replacement level player is a bad idea, and it ruins your team.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's okay, but then Tanner Jeannot's going to score 3 goals in Game 7
and win the series.
It'll be literally Nick Paul last season.
Yeah. Tampa has gotten a lot worse than they have you looked at their defense score?
Yeah, it's not good. It's really not good.
Right. Who is Nick Perbix? I know who he is, but why is he on the top pair?
I mean, he's fit okay on the top, but yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's not good.
Right.
I mean, Hedman hasn't been great either this season.
No,
Again,
Sergachev's been pretty good though.
yeah,
That's their saving
but
grace.
yeah, sure. I mean,
But
if
yeah,
again, I think the Leafs are kind of like in the Winnipeg Jets boat for me. I think they're going to be their own worst enemy
yeah,
in the playoffs because they're going to play Luke Shen 20 minutes a game, and he's going to be awful. Um, and
right.
he's going to get exposed a lot. So like even now, even after the Sandin trade, the Leafs have the opportunity to play 6 defensemen who are all very good at moving the puck and very like really good in transition.
But they won't. That's the thing. We
But they
know they
won't.
won't. Like if you
Like
iced if you
it's
iced
there for you.
Riley and
Hmm.
Gustafson together,
Sure,
Liljegren and Gio, I think they've been playing a lot together, right?
sure. And like Brody and McCabe.
Brody McCabe, like that's insanely good. And you still have Hall sitting out.
Yeah,
Shen is all
which
right.
he yep, yep. Play those
Like
6 guys, like you're good. That
yep.
you'll dominate you'll bury Tampa in transition because again, the Lightning do not have the guys to defend that this season.
Their transition defense is horrible this year. Like they
Coleman
don't
and
have as
Goudreau
much
are gone.
speed. Yeah.
They can't do it anymore.
I feel
You
like Plot
have the
was a little
like,
underrated with that too.
oh yeah, he was really good. Um, it- yeah, like you have the opportunity, but you're not going to use it because you're going to have to play Justin Hall because you need the big body who can hit, and you need to play Luke Shen because you traded a 4th round pick for him, and
Right.
everybody made fun of you, and all the boomers really like him. So
Yeah.
if anything, that's going to be what kills them this series. It's going to be one of those 2 guys like making a key mistake in a big moment that's going to kill him. And I understand that like Philip Gustafson's going to turn the puck over a lot. I understand that, but he's also going to make a lot of really smart plays. That's the risk you take with guys who can
See,
move the puck.
that's my problem with people talk about turnovers as like a
It's like
negative
Connor
stat.
McDavid's like 5th in the NHL in turnovers this season.
Yeah, like if you're turning a puck
Just
over,
what happens.
unless you're a horrible player. Like there's horrible players
Yeah,
who turn over the puck
sure.
and there's like players who turn over the puck trying to make a good play. Like if you're trying to
Yeah.
make a good play and you accidentally turn it over, it's not
Mhm.
the end of the world. Like you could have made a play out of that.
Yeah. Like exactly. That's 100% correct. And all those 6 Leafs defensemen should be playing in game 1 of the playoffs. They won't be.
Yeah,
They should be.
right.
But yeah,
Okay.
Leafs in 7. Why not?
Right.
Uh,
Perfect
all
segue.
right. Yep.
Not really. We ruined our
Carolina
perfect
and
segue, but
yeah, yeah. Uh, speaking of teams that dump the puck in and can't score, the Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Islanders. Um, I put out a tweet a couple days ago, basically saying that a team that takes 1,000 shots and can't score versus a goalie who faces 1,000 shots every game and saves them all is the perfect combination for an upset.
yeah.
Um, and that's what we got. I still do not agree with the Islanders' direction that they went on with the Bo Horvat trade. I still don't think they're very well coached, and I
No.
don't love their roster construction. But my God, is Helios Sorokin really good?
He is another animal. And playoff Ilya Sorokin too is even better.
Yeah, against a team that literally does not score and takes like 1,000 shots. Like, didn't I just looked it up and they were like 30th in shooting percentage, right? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
we were
that's what
just
I
talking
said
about it
before
before
this.
the show.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
that's
that's
like
crazy.
I love the Hurricanes. I really like the guys they have. They're perfectly built, like totally expected goals based. Like they're built around Corsi. That's what the team's built around. But
Hmm.
it's just they cannot fit. Like, and again, my direction for this series would be completely different if Max Pacioretty was healthy and playing because
Hmm.
he rocks. And
He
he's going to
does.
sign at Edmonton in the summer for like 900K, and it's going to be phenomenal. He's going to score 50 goals next season. It's going to be crazy. But that's not even like I'm actually kind of thinking that could happen if he signs with the Oilers. Like he could
Yeah,
legitimately
I
become a 50 goal scorer in Edmonton,
right, and then
especially
get
if they play
paid
him with
enough to
Drysdale.
retire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if they play Leon Drysdale, like he could be in the 40s for sure, and be
yeah,
healthy. Obviously, the whole so that's the caveat. But like, I don't think that's out of the question. And like, if he was healthy, like if he would have came back and played more than like half a game for Carolina, this series is different.
yeah.
I just don't know who's scoring consistently for the Hurricane. Like Brent Burns, that's your guy.
All right.
Okay.
Seth Jarvis might get a couple.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Evgeny Sveshnikov or Andrei Sveshnikov rocks. Big
He's hurt
fan.
though.
Yep. Spashnaha was pretty good, but can't finish.
Yeah.
I love Jesse Pujärvi. Can't finish. Like Carolina's going to control the puck for like 75% of the series, and they're going to lose 2-1 every game.
Yeah. Like if you look at this matchup, it will be 2-1, 3-2,
Yeah,
2-1, 3-2.
the
Like that's how
deserve
it'll
to
be
win
the
meter is
whole
going to be like
series.
98% Carolina every game.
Yeah. Like if you look at
That's how this is going
Carolina's
to go.
lineup, like you look throughout the lineup, you're like, they have so
Mhm.
many solid defensive guys, but it's like
Oh
who's
yeah,
gonna score? Like there might be a 1-0 game in this series, I think.
yeah. Oh for sure. Yeah,
The
hundred
problem
percent.
is with for me is Carolina's goaltending. Like Rant has
Well, that
been
too.
better, but
Mhm.
like if Carolina wants to win this series, they need to call up Kochetkov and play him because that guy's been a beast this year in the NHL.
Yeah, which isn't going to happen. But
It's not gonna happen.
I have the Islanders in 6.
Islanders in 6.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, I got the Islanders in
I think
7.
Sorokin steals 2, like easily, single-handedly steals 2 games, and the Hurricanes beat themselves by not being able to score for 2 of them.
Right.
That's how I see this going. And I just think Carolina is not going to get 3. Or maybe they go to the Stanley Cup final, which could also happen. But,
Yeah.
hey.
It's one or the other. They lose in the first round or they go to cup final.
Outside, and I want to I want to specify this before we get into our final matchup and our playoff predictions. Like outside of the Florida Panthers, I could see every one of these teams. I could make a case for every one of these teams going to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
There's 15 teams that I could say, like, if you told me the Dallas Stars went to the Cup final, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
I can see it.
That's
I
why
can
it's so
justify
hard
that.
to predict.
Oh yeah, especially this year. It's always like this, but especially this season.
Right. It feels especially hard this year.
Yeah. And now for probably my favorite matchup in the Eastern Conference, uh, Devils Rangers. Man, this is going to be so much fun. I'm so excited because
It'll be
like
fun.
this is going to be great. Like Kane and Tarasenko going on like what could be their final like legitimate cup run, depending on where both of them sign in the summer. It sounds like Kane's probably going to go to Buffalo. That's kind of the early rumors I've seen, which
I hope he
makes
doesn't
sense.
though.
I think that'd be kind of fun though.
It'd be fun, but well, imagine a line of Tage Thompson with Patrick Kane.
Yeah,
Actually, that would be kind of
I
fun.
mean, like, I think, and this is going to get into like huge, but like, I think Boston could be kind of interesting for Kane too, because they're going to
Yeah,
have
then
some money to spend. Because like Bergeron might retire, and he's a free agent anyway.
right.
Like
They need a center
Krejci's
though.
gone. Yeah, Krejci's gonna be gone.
But
I
Zach
mean,
has been good.
do you really need a center if like you have Patrick Kane on the wing though? Like I think you're okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that'd be kind of fun. And like obviously like the Bruins were kind of rumored to be in the Kane thing, like before this season. That kind of went away afterwards. But I think Boston would be kind of fun. He'd be close enough to home, but Buffalo just kind of feels right at this point. Anyway, that's besides the point. Rangers, Devils, everything besides goaltending points to New Jersey, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Devils have been phenomenal this season. They've been so much fun. Uh, so have the Rangers, though. I mean, the Rangers have always been a fun team to watch. And it's Broadway. We talked about it last time, but like everything that they did just feels like New York. Um, and it would be fun to see the Rangers go on a run here because like they have the team that fits like the market now.
Yeah.
So what are you kind of feeling going into this one?
The one caveat I have to this is I think guys like Jack Hughes and Timo Meyer are just going to take this series over.
Yeah.
And I think that the Rangers might not have as good of a transition defense to stop the puck moving defense that New Jersey has. Their
Yeah.
forwards move the puck a lot. Like they move the puck so well.
The
Like if you
defense moved
watch
the
them
puck really
play,
well
like
too.
it's quick up very fast.
Like their entire blue line. Like Damon Severson has been the most underrated defenseman in the NHL this season. He
Right.
has
And
been
he's going to sign for
incredible.
$2 million next year probably.
It's
Somewhere.
gonna be crazy. Yeah, maybe even in New Jersey, they have lots of money, but probably not because why would they do that? I mean, to be fair, the Devils don't really have to resign him because their blue line prospects are really good,
Yeah.
and that's probably one of the reasons why they brought up Luke Hughes is because he's gonna kind of be that guy. Maybe not next season, but like at some point in the near future. But yeah, David Severson rocks. I mean, Dougie Hamilton's awesome.
Yeah, he's a
Everybody,
beast.
yeah, this whole blue line's been
Siegenthaler's
really
pretty
good.
good.
Yeah, like it's all really good. their offense is awesome. Like we just talked about Thomas Tatar uh, earlier, kind of in passing with Ehlers. Like Thomas Tatar is super underrated. Um, Palat was huge for the Lightning. I think losing him was big, as do you.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be there. Like the, the Devils have a lot of depth. They match up really well with the Rangers forwards,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
but there's one guy standing in the back end for the New York Rangers who's the best goalie on the planet.
Yeah, that's the only hard thing about this for me to predict is like in the last 10 games for Shesterkin, he's at 16 goals saved above expected. Like he's been a
Yeah. And I mean,
lately.
the Rangers are going to score a lot of goals. Like they're going to
Yeah,
generate offense. Like despite what their underlying numbers are going to look like Kane's going to generate a lot of offense. He's going to be terrible defensively. Like he's probably going to be a point a game in this series. That's just the way. Like that's who Patrick Kane's going to be. Like Panarin's kind of a question mark for me because like he hasn't been phenomenal, but
right.
again, that's somebody who could take over a series. Like the Rangers have a bunch of guys who could take over the series. It's just a matter of like if they'll be able to.
Yes.
And
That
I mean,
is
Adam Fox too is kind of obviously is Adam
yeah.
Fox. Yeah,
We're going to get a couple flying elbows from Jacob Trouba in the series.
Did you see the video? I want to point this out. I don't know if you saw the video, but like the video of Jacob Trouba at the jersey
Yeah, that was
thing
awesome.
at the end. Like that was like obviously if you guys didn't see it, like go look it up. It's really cool.
It is
And the kid was from
amazing.
Winnipeg too, so that's he's like, oh, I was a fan like when you were with the Jets. It was kind of cool.
That was pretty cool.
But yeah, like some kid was going to I don't know what the whole story was. I didn't see like his backstory, but I'm assuming he had some kind like whatever a hard life growing up,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or whatever it was. But yeah, anyway, the Rangers ended up giving him a full ride scholarship to law school, and which again, Jacob Trouba presented it to him because he's the captain of the team. But so that wasn't like Jacob doing that, but then like Trouba like gave him his cell phone number and was like, "I want to be at your graduation," and that's so fucking cool, man.
That's sick.
Like, despite like every like the on ice stuff at Trouba, whatever, but like that's so cool to do that. Like he didn't have to do that. He could have just
No.
given him the thing and like shook his hand, signed the jersey, whatever, and that kid just had the greatest night of his life. But like to actually give him your personal cell phone number, it'd be like, keep in contact with me. I want to be at your graduation. Like
Like
that's
that's sick.
so cool. So like that, like yeah, I was very impressed by that.
Me
And
too.
you could say whatever you want about Jacob. Like that was awesome, and that was something he didn't need to do. So shout out Jacob Trouba. Good guy of the week. Uh, if I didn't say that, I'm taking the Devils in 7 games.
Yeah, me too. So solely because their defense, like if you look at if you like have you looked at their like Mika Blake McCurdy's like their shots per hour?
Oh yeah. Well, which team? The
The
Devils.
Devils. Like 5-on-5
Yeah. Yes.
defense.
Yes.
Everything is from the point and out. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing in the slot,
Yeah.
which is insane to me. Like
I mean,
that's the
Vitek
biggest
Vanacek's
thing.
been like good. Like he's been okay.
He had a good start to the year, but he kind of fell off a
Yeah.
bit. But I
But
think
like
he'll pick it up for playoffs. Like I feel like
I just think like
everybody does.
the Rangers deep or the Devils defense is just good enough to like their like shot suppression is good enough to like make up for that. Because like even guys like Kane who like have bad like expected goals numbers but can generate a lot of offense themselves, like he's not the same player as he was.
No.
Like this isn't 2016 Kane. This isn't like 2019 Tarasenko. I
Right.
I
Exactly.
I just yeah, I like the Devils in this series. In 7. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Okay, so that's our first round.
Yep.
Quickly, is there any like big games in the second round that you have in your bracket that you kind of want to quickly touch? We don't have to go through all of them, but just kind of like
Right.
upsets or big like kind of moments that you want to touch on. Otherwise, you can just give like your picks.
Um yeah, I think the Winnipeg LA series will be a cool one that I have in
Yeah,
my predictions. Like I know I have the exact opposite of what you do, but
yeah,
I think that'd be a cool series there. I just feel like it'd be very high flying. I think it'll be a very like I don't know. I feel like LA matches very good against Winnipeg
yeah,
and is going to be their
yeah,
undoing.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, I know. I think LA would win that series for sure.
Yeah. And I think Minnesota
Uh,
Seattle will be a fun series.
that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good. It would kind of be like the series that nobody cares about though
Right.
of the 4.
But I'll watch
Um,
every game cuz it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, it'd be like that series that everybody that did watch it was gonna be like, oh, that was awesome, and like it was
Yeah,
only like 20% of like hockey fans because nobody cares about either team.
right. Two small market teams going against each
Yeah,
other.
it's just teams that nobody cares, like the most like mediocre teams of all time. But
Yeah,
no, that would be good. Yeah. So do you have Minnesota or Seattle?
I have Minnesota.
Yeah, so do I. You have LA over Winnipeg. I have
I
Edmonton
have
over Vegas.
mhm.
Uh, New Jersey over. You have the Islanders winning, right?
I have New
Over
Jersey
Carolina.
over the Islanders.
Yeah, okay. I have New Jersey over the Islanders too. I just like over Carolina. Yeah, okay. Um, and I'm assuming you have Boston over Toronto.
I do. I think it'll go to 7 though. I just because like I don't even
Okay.
actually know. Like I think Boston could sweep Toronto, but I hope it goes to 7 and Boston wins in 7.
I want everybody to clip this for future use,
Okay.
good or bad. Because if this doesn't work out, like I deserve to get clowned for it.
Right. I'm gonna write down the timestamp so that I can clip
You
it
do
for
that,
you.
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
The Toronto Maple Leafs, forever. I want to preface this by saying I'm a Canadiens fan who does not like the Leafs. Okay, let's just start that off because I'm going to get the comments saying that you're Leafs homer, it's whatever. I do not like the Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay, the biggest thing for the Leafs over the last since like 2003 or whenever it was, but like especially over this like the last 4 or 5 years, right, have been the jokes about them not being able to win round one. Imagine what the morale would be like in that Leafs locker room after they win the fourth game against Lightning. Like, imagine how that room's gonna feel going into that. Like they slayed the dragon of the first round. And then, not only did they finally get out of the first round, but their next challenge is the other thing that's haunted them forever in Boston.
Yeah.
Like they are going to be so fired up they just proved everybody wrong once. And now they can do it again. I firmly believe that momentum is huge in this. Despite what everything says, like the Bruins goaltending is phenomenal. They're match up pretty well. I actually think Toronto might have a better like overall roster, but it's close. But just like the Bruins really haven't had like the Bruins kind of suffer from that Tampa Bay Lightning syndrome in 2019, where they haven't played like any meaningful hockey in like basically all season.
Right.
And Toronto just got off like the biggest high, maybe since 1967 when they won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I think the Leafs win that series. I really do. I really do. I really believe that like if Toronto can get out of the first round, like they're getting. I'm gonna spoil my conference final pick because I think they go to the final
Wow.
if they win against Tampa. I think they beat Boston and they beat New Jersey. I don't think they win the cup. But I think that the amount of positive energy that would be like the amount of passion that would be in that room would be incredible. So, in 2 weeks when Tampa Bay beats Toronto in 6 games, you guys can make fun of me. But yeah, I'm going Toronto over Boston.
Okay. Wow. I did not see that coming. And we talked about our bracket for the whole before the show.
Yeah.
And I didn't
And
see it
I
coming.
right before we started recording, I said I had a big like huge thing that I changed, and that was it. And I mean, like,
Wow.
come on, everybody's gonna have Boston win the Cup final. Like, it's so boring. Like, let's have
Yeah, it
some
is boring.
fun. Let's take Toronto. Why not?
Yeah. I think Boston's
Um,
gonna stomp Toronto though.
fair enough. Hey, you know what? Fair enough.
Solely because let's say Toronto takes a 3-1 series lead, yank
Oh my god.
Allmark, put Swayman in. Like
Yeah, no kidding.
they have two
Yeah.
number one goalies. Like that's the only like if Boston didn't have Swayman, I could see
Yeah.
Toronto like
No, and
Allmark
it's 100
collapsing.
like 100%. I think like Boston has that luxury of like even if one of them gets hurt, like they literally and I mentioned this before the podcast, like the Bruins could legitimately like just alternate goalies the whole playoffs. They could just like play one every 2 nights. Like give everybody like an odd numbered game, and then whoever's like, if they end up going to a game 7, whoever was the best through like the 3 games they played in the series gets the start. Like they could legitimately do that and win a cup doing that. It would be crazy.
Here's an even better tactic. Switch them every period. Oh, you thought we had Allmark in? No.
Every half a period, every TV timeout.
Yeah, swap. On the fly goalie changes.
Dump the puck in, baby, or switching them up. Would you imagine if is that even legal? Like, can you actually do that? Like, I actually don't know.
On the fly. Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Yeah, you can.
I did not. Okay.
I guess,
yeah, because I guess you can like.
Rules.
I guess yeah, because you can pull them, so you can just like send out a different goalie. That's okay. Right. That makes sense.
You can't get so too many men, but you can pull on the fly.
That'd be so funny. I'd love to see that happen just like one time.
It'd be hilarious.
I might do that. Like if I'm ever working for a team and we're up like 7-0 in a game, I might do just, it. Like switch goalies mid shift.
Like that'd be hilarious. Like if you're up 7-1, why not change goalies on the fly for a little bit?
That clip would go so viral. That'd be so funny. Anyway, yeah. So I have Toronto winning. Finest. Toronto's not going to win, but we're going with it. I talked myself into it. Okay, I finally talked myself into it. I've never picked the Leafs in a series. I don't think
it served you well, pretty good so far.
Somebody can go check that out. But maybe I picked them last year. I can't remember. Actually, that's a lie. No, I picked them against Montreal.
I picked them last year, sadly.
Yeah. I didn't. I don't know if I picked. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, so yeah, I have Toronto beating New Jersey. You have Boston over New Jersey, I'm assuming.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then you had LA and Minnesota.
Yep.
And who do you got out of that?
I think that Philip Gustafson's going to go beast mode this playoffs, and I think they're going to win, but they're going to get. I wouldn't be surprised if they get swept by Boston in the finals.
Okay. I have Edmonton over Minnesota, and I have the Oilers over the Leafs in the Stanley Cup final, which would be such a fun Stanley Cup final. Can we just take a second to awesome. Like an Oilers Leafs Stanley Cup final would be incredible. Just because you have two of the most annoying like beat reporter fan bases in the NHL going at each other.
I don't want the Leafs to win because I don't want to see Leaf fans on Twitter because they're going to be cheering so hard, and I don't want to see that.
Oh, I want to see Oilers and Leafs fans rip each other apart for 2 weeks. That would be so funny.
That would be funny. The occasional really Hab fan coming in and ripping the part of both.
It'd be a good time.
It would be funny.
All right, so now we can quickly move on. What time are we at, by the way? I don't have it.
We are an hour in here, so I think we have time for the draft.
Yeah, okay. So how this is going to work is it's going to be a super basic draft. We're going to get 4 forwards, 2 defense, and a goalie. We're picking it for the entire playoffs. Do you want to do a thing where you can swap out a player after round 1?
Yeah, but you have to pick your swap player in the draft. Like we have to pick him and put him. Oh no, never mind. At the second round series,
no, but like because like once we see who's like been like advanced or whatever, because like once a team advanced, obviously like if you have a guy on a team that loses in round 1, like he's just dead on your roster. Yeah. So like if you switch a player though, you have to like pick up his points that he had in round 1, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And you have to drop the points for the guy that like. So if you take McDavid and he loses in round 1, but he gets like 12 points, then like if you drop him, then you drop those 12 points and you get whoever you pick up.
I like that.
Okay, yeah. So we're doing 4 forwards, 2 defense, and a goalie. Goals and assists are 1 point each. Power play points are an extra point. Wins are 3. Shutouts are wins are 2. Shutouts are an extra 3. So you get 5 points for a shutout. And yeah, once a guy obviously is eliminated, then so you kind of have to pick like strategically too for who you believe is going to go far. Obviously we just went over our brackets, so you can kind of see what our thought process might be behind that. I don't have a paper or anything, so you're gonna have to keep track of everybody picks.
Yeah, I got it.
So we're gonna do okay, you can go first if you want, and then we can just do like a snake draft. So I get 2, 3, and then you get 4, 5.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, just because you're writing everything down, so I'll give you the first pick, which is like the easiest pick of all time. But well, maybe not because you have the Oilers. I have the Oilers out in round 1. I don't have I actually have a hard pick here. The thing is, I'm thinking about taking Allmark because I think he's going to play and they're going to win all 16. So that's 48 points. Yeah, that's such a risky pick though.
I know. And like I feel like I'm in it for the risk right now.
You are. I mean, hey, like, go ahead.
I'm
Go
taking
ahead.
Allmark with pick 1.
All right. Well, you can give me McDavid and Draisaitl. You can just write that down. I'll just I'll just hammer the Oilers here because like if things go well, that might win me the draft right there. But
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
all right.
I'm going to take Pasternak
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to take Jack Hughes.
Ooh, okay. That's an interesting pick. I'm gonna go Matthews because the Leafs are gonna go to the Stanley Cup final,
Okay.
and I don't have to take a goalie for a while, so that's good.
Oh
I have
shit.
one more
That was a
forward. Yeah,
horrible idea.
I have one more forward. Yeah, I know it was. I'm just gonna leave that one right to the end, baby. Also, because I have no idea who I'm gonna take, but um, I only have one more forward left. I'm gonna take McCarr just in case the Avalanche go on a run.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you took
And
Matthews and
even if
McCarr.
they don't, like, he might get like 10 points in the first round. So like,
Yeah. That's true.
so, yeah.
My next pick. Oh, I have 2 forwards, so I got to take a forward. We have 4 forwards?
I have three. I have McDavid, Draisaitl, and
Oh, we're allowed
Matthews.
to get 4, right?
Yeah, you have four. Yeah, four slots.
Okay. Then since I have Minnesota in the cup final, I'm going to take Kaprizov.
Okay.
And then I should probably take a defenseman. So I'm going to take Lindholm.
Good pick. Okay. I need another defense. What do I need? A forward, defenseman, and a goalie. Okay. Um. You took Hughes already, so that doesn't help me. Give me do I want to take another defenseman from a team I have losing in round one? It's probably not a smart idea. Give me McAvoy
McAvoy. That's a good one.
just in case. Um, and give me I'm sitting between Eichel and McCann right now. That's where my brain's at.
Ooh, I like McCann
I'm
actually.
I'm probably missing somebody else too. Like there's probably another player that I could take that would make sense. I don't want to take. I could take one of the Rangers because like they could go on a run, but I feel like I'm hedging my bets too much with my roster.
Right.
Although I don't have any Devils, but like I'm hedging like my bracket too much. Cool. Who do I have? I have McDavid, Draisaitl. I want to make sure I'm not like loading up on like guys on the same that are gonna play each other in like round two. McDavid, Draisaitl, Matthews. That's good. Okay, McAvoy and McCarr.
McCarr.
Okay, that's fine. I need somebody from the Metro. All right, I'll take. Who else can I take from the from the Devils? Like who am I missing? I guess like Heischer, but it's taking longer than I thought it was. Oh, give me Meyer. Yeah, I'll take Timo Meyer.
I already started writing it down because that's how I knew who you
Yeah.
were going to pick.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, wait, there's somebody I'm missing from the
I
Devils.
also thought you were thinking about picking Dawson Mercer too.
No. No, I was gonna be between Heischer and like Heischer was kind of the name that came up, and then I was like, oh yeah, Timo Meyer plays for New Jersey now. Okay, now it's your pick, right?
Yeah.
I put two different. Yeah, I got my. Yeah, okay. Now I just have my goalie, right?
Yeah, you just have
I
your
think.
goalie.
Okay.
I have a
That's fine.
forward and a defenseman yet.
Yeah.
So I have them losing in round 1, but I'm just going to hedge this just in case they don't. So I'm going to take Nuge.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh no, wait. I'm going to scratch that. I'm going to take Marchand instead because I'm
All right.
loading up on the Bruins. And then I'll take
Sure.
You didn't take Dougie Hamilton, did you?
I did not. No.
Okay.
I almost took Adam Fox, but
Yeah, I'm going to take
just in case.
Dougie Hamilton.
Dougie's gonna get a lot of points.
Yeah.
And then for my goalie, I'm sitting between
Take Swayman.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. I should. No, I'm gonna take Skinner because I have the Oilers winning the cup. So
Yeah.
let's just. You got 3 Bruins. I got 3 Oilers. Let's go. Oh, you got 4 Bruins.
Yeah. I have one
Jesus.
player from the West.
Well, you're gonna be really disappointed when Toronto beats Boston in the second round.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See, the thing with taking Allmark in the first, if the Bruins lose in round 1, I can just take a different goalie. I mean, it kind of
That's
sucks.
true, but
That,
that's your only swap though.
oh, you only get one swap?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. There's like 10, we have like 10 players.
Yeah.
4, 6. We have 7 players.
Yeah. Me taking Allmark was
But
actually
to
dumb
be fair though,
move.
goalie's gonna get you a lot of points. So like,
Yeah, because I think I don't want to say it though because I can't say that.
yeah. But like
On.
16, 16 times 2 is would you say it was 30
Did you
something?
say it's 3 points for a win or 2?
2 and 3 for a shutout. So you get 5 if he gets a shutout.
Okay. So yeah,
So
32
like,
points. Like I think he'll get if he
there's not a
wins
lot of
all
players like
16,
yeah.
that'll
There's not a lot of players gonna put 32 points
like I think McDavid or Dry could maybe, but I feel like it's a
if you
safer
go on
bet
a
that
run. Yeah,
the Bruins win 16 games.
that's fair.
That was my
It is.
rationale.
Well, yeah, it is. Okay, so there we go. That is the playoffs. That was fun.
That
I
was
can't
fun.
wait for us all to be wrong for round 2. So obviously we'll do our one swap player in round 2.
Yeah, and we'll do a
When we do the
preview
round
for
2
every
podcast.
round.
Yeah. So that's
Like
what
we'll
I
go
meant
in.
to say. Is
Yeah.
that like we'll do it at the end of the round 2 podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
That was good. Yeah.
Any last thoughts on the playoffs? Oh, who's your Conn Smythe pick? Give me that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I have the Bruins winning the cup, so I'm
Give
gonna
me
give it.
your favorite and like a dark horse.
Okay, favorite. I think the favorites. I think it honestly has to be Allmark because he's been a beast,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it doesn't go to the goalie enough.
Mm-hmm.
And my dark horse pick would
It
be
doesn't have to be from Boston, but just like
okay.
like somebody that you think would be like a really good bet, like if you were to put money on.
Oh, Jack Hughes.
Okay. Well, you stole mine. That's fine. Uh, yeah, Jack Hughes' odds are probably like stupid low.
I know, like that's why it's such a good bet.
Yeah. Obviously McDavid's gonna be my favorite.
Yeah.
Even like I think there is an argument for him winning it last year. I think there'll be an argument for him winning it again this year. Regardless of where the Oilers finish, as long as they get out of like round 2. So that's fine. My dark horse pick. I'm gonna go. I was gonna go Jack Hughes, but you stole that one from me, so I can't do that. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Mitch Marner.
That's a good pick.
Let's say the Leafs go on a run. Matthews can be queued in on. Mitch Marner needs to prove he's got to prove himself. If Toronto does go on a run, he's gonna have a phenomenal playoffs. So let's go Mitch Marner. Why not? Let's have some fun.
Yeah, Mitch Marner has arguably been the Leafs MVP this year. So.
Oh yeah. His odds are probably crazy. I might just throw like $1 on Mitch Marner winning the Conn Smythe just because it's for fun. All right, so that is all we got for you guys. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, especially because that seems to be the only place that we really post. Full audio is on Apple, Spotify, probably a couple other places.
Yeah, anywhere you listen, it'll be there.
Sure. I can't think of it. Like Google, I think I have podcast. I don't know if we're on Amazon. That's the podcast thing. And full videos on YouTube, so you guys can like stare at us as we're doing this.
Yes.
And clips on stuff on Instagram. We'll post our brackets and our fantasy lineups on there as well.
Yeah.
So we'll also put a vote up so you can vote for which team you think is gonna win. So yeah, that's all I got for you. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at BroalieTalksHockey. I do a lot of short form analysis on my story. Like I kind of just rant a lot. So if you like hearing rants, come join.
I do that all the time too.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Mine are longer-ish, but
yeah,
I'll go on. Yeah, good rant on the story is a good time. Yeah, you guys can follow me at NBI Hockey on Instagram and Twitter. I've been posting a lot on Twitter lately, so that's always a good time. I only have like 100 and some followers on Twitter or something, so go follow me on Twitter. And that's, I think all we got for you. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys for round 2, where we won't even have to do a podcast because I was right. You were wrong on a couple picks, but
Jets are winning 7. That's my lock.
Vegas in 7. So. All right, see you guys later.